My ultimate's ready.
Okay, okay, this should work. Okay, so movement in Valorant is basically like a baby version of Counter-Strike. It is very easy to control. So how you want to jump spot really depends, but for this particular example where you struggled, there's basically a couple angles that you want to kind of jump spot. So first is this, because this is like the first immediate angle. You don't want to jump spot both this angle and this angle, because if there's an enemy here, there's an enemy holding here, they get a much better shot on you, and they can maybe even like wallbang you much easier. So you want to avoid over jump peeking, kind of like over swinging. You want to avoid over swinging too, because if you just swing this with no info, there could be an enemy here, 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 or here, or like up here on this wall, or up on this vending machine. Like they could be anywhere, right? It's too many angles. So you want to make sure that you isolate, even when you're jump spotting. You want to make sure you're isolating all these angles. So I would firstly jump spot just the first initial angle, and then if you're jump spotting again, let's say that you jump spot this once, an enemy could have saw you on this angle as well, right? Or maybe if they're on the wall, they may have seen you too. So they might be pre-aiming you next. They might be pre-aiming a bit higher, right, on the cover. And that means that if you jump spot again in the same way for the next angle, you might just die to that next guy then. So what you have to do is, okay, you can jump spot once, right? Especially if you didn't reveal your position. So I'm kind of fucking up myself, but still better than what you did. So basically, as you're moving, you have to kind of swerve to the right and then back. So after you're swerving to the right, midair, and then you press the back button after that, it's gonna make you change directions in midair. So you can basically do like, if we do it this way around, I think I'm better at that. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm pressing J and then K. So it's like in a circle, basically. It's basically a circle. Or basically, it's just, yeah, that's the pattern. It's like a circle. So I'll jump spot this, right? But then I may have been seen. So next up, I'm gonna try and change something up here, because now this enemy here might be holding for me, right? They might be holding for the jump spot. And if they're holding for the jump spot on this wall here, then their aim is going to be like up here. So next up, I want to peek in a different way, where I'm not going to be jumping into the enemy's crosshair up here. So I could maybe jiggle normally, with the knife out for the next angle. But when you're jiggling from the ground, you need to make sure that you can like take like one step minimum before you expose yourself. So this is so that you can actually kind of get max velocity on your movement. And then, you know, trying to basically not overswing into the other angles this way. So that way you don't die to anyone up here, and you still get the information on anyone behind the vending machine here, and anyone on this wall. So that's one way to do it. You know, you can do it the other way around as well. Just kind of jiggle this and then jump spot. That's also fine. That's also perfectly acceptable. Whatever is easiest. You know, the point is just to not be like predictable. You know, if you jump spot this like once, twice, 3 times in a row, trying to get information, well, now you should be dead. So, yeah, it's just about staying unpredictable. And as for air strafing, you can also do an air strafe by just holding the right strafe movement key, or the left one. The left one is kind of worse for these angles because you need to be. So like here, it's okay because you look at the minimap, you're gonna know whether you spotted someone here. If you look at the minimap here, you're also gonna know whether you spotted someone on the minimap. This air strafe is okay, but obviously it's like a bit difficult to time compared to this one. Like this one, the moment the moment you spot the enemy, you can just strafe back from midair, or just the moment you're on the angle. So like this actually is easier to develop muscle memory for, and this is just kind of general kind of thing where like you don't really need muscle memory for this, but yeah. So this is the one I prefer, generally speaking, just because of how easy it is to time it, where you can just get back into cover like so quickly after you are exposed to the angle. But whichever one you use just depends on what you prefer, whatever feels best. Ultimately, they all accomplish the same thing, which is they give you information on the upcoming angles that you're going to peek. So, yeah. I don't know what else there is to talk about in terms of Valorant movement. I guess I could just go over the this small thing where if, for example, you're trying to get up on top of something, it's not going to work normally. Like, you may have noticed, oh, that it's like, it's very not consistent. Like, you might sometimes be able to climb up here, but other times you can't. Generally speaking, if you want to make it more consistent, jumping on these kind of taller ledges, just crouch midair. If you crouch midair, you're gonna get up on these taller ledges, no problem. So that's about it.